for this professional middleweight contest. Introducing the fighter on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black shorts trimmed with gold. He has a professional MMA record of 12 wins with just 2 losses and no draws. Fighting out of Team Titan, London, Valentino Petrescu. And introducing his opponent on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black shorts trimmed with purple. He has a professional MMA record of 14 wins, 10 losses and 1 draw. He is a Liverpool fighter, fighting out of Atherton Submission Wrestling, Lee Chadwick.
Middleweight action here at OMMAC 16. Valentino Petrescu out of Team Titan, the TUF veteran in the black shorts, taking on ASW's Lee Chadwick in the black and purple shorts. Jay, this could be a war. Chadwick, very, very versatile guy, and Petrescu, he's always been there or thereabouts in the rankings.
Yeah, Petrescu, he's a guy, we know what he likes to do. He's a striker by trade, and, you know, he likes to keep it standing and hit people a lot. Chadwick, at the same time, we know exactly what he likes to do as well. He likes to grind. We've seen him do it against other strikers, Matt Howard recently. You know, he grinds and he works for that takedown, and he makes it happen. And he's training with a lot of good guys now at Atherton Submission Wrestling who excel in this exact area. So, you know, you've got to fancy Chadwick to be looking for a takedown and to keep that pressure on.
Yeah, Chadwick almost seemed to change direction in his career. Looked a lot for strikes, it seemed, early on in his career. And as you say, the Matt Howard fight really represented a lot of progress in Chadwick's game. Howard was a very feared striker coming in, and Chadwick shut him down, not without having his trouble. It was an absolute war. But clearly, Jay, I think you're right here. Chadwick looking to push the pace and desperately looking for that takedown now.
Yeah, and Petrescu is doing a very good job of keeping on his feet on the fence, and again he scrambles back. He, as most guys tend to do these days, uses that fence as almost an extra leg to help him stay on his feet, and he works back up there.
Yeah, excellent work back to his feet from Valentino Petrescu.
This is a good weight for Petrescu at 185 pounds. Chadwick's a big unit at the weight, very thick. Petrescu a little bit rangier, and yeah, it's very interesting bout stylistically. A nice left hand lands there for Petrescu as they break, but Chadwick gives him no more distance after he tastes it, and again just drives straight into that midsection of Petrescu, looking for that takedown.
Yeah, the journey from light heavyweight down to welterweight could not have been an easy one for him. As you say, middleweight probably more suited to the Team Titan man.
I mean, both guys have been up at light heavyweight. I'm pretty sure Chadwick started out his days as a welterweight and got bigger and bigger, but he seems to have found his home at middleweight now. And they're separated by referee Leon Roberts. And let's see what Petrescu can do in the middle. A nice knee lands, but Chadwick charges him down, bowls him onto the fence, gets him back exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah, Petrescu, he's not going to have a shortage of teammates down there at Titan with excellent wrestling credentials. As you say, in his career, he's favoured strikes. But Chadwick, as of now, employing the game plan that I think he would have liked to do at the start, Jay.
Yeah, you know, he's making it happen. He's driving Petrescu on the fence. He's not allowing him to get off many significant strikes. Petrescu's just managed to stay on his feet, throwing the odd knee in here and there, but that's not going to be enough to win rounds. He needs to create distance and land more significant strikes. Easier said than done though with a guy like Lee Chadwick.
Excellent takedown defense shown from Petrescu there. Chadwick exploded on that single, still wasn't able to get it. What do you think from Petrescu's point of view, Jay? I mean, obviously you can't just, you know, shrug his man off, because he would if he could. But do you think he's perhaps content to take Chadwick into later rounds? I mean, his cardio was very tested in the Matt Howard fight.
Well, from what we've heard earlier in the day, Chadwick is adamant that he's made the weight easier than ever this time. He's happier at the weight. So maybe we'll see a difference in cardio because of an easier cut. But like you say, we've seen him blowing hard against Matt Howard. He's stuck in there, he's stuck in the fight, and he did a very good job despite being so visibly gassed. But, you know, Petrescu will have seen that fight, and he probably fancies his chances if he can go into the later rounds.
Bit of distance now for Petrescu. He's looking to land some brutal knees, Jay. Looking very lovely little left hook to the body and leg kick. Chadwick looking a bit static there in the standing exchanges. Beautiful rolling clear attempt. Didn't really land, and Chadwick goes for a guillotine. The end of the round.
Yeah, Petrescu threw everything at Chadwick there at the end of the round. He must have known he was down on the scorecards in that round. He needed to do something special. He looked for it. It didn't come off, but you can't fault him for trying. Valentino Petrescu, as soon as he got that distance, looking to land big strikes, and Chadwick definitely wasn't comfortable with it.
Yeah, the name escapes me of the strike at the end. Maybe some sort of wheel kick. I remember Marius Zaromskis landing one on Bruno Carvalho, I think it was, knocked his man out. And Chadwick's going to have to be aware of that. He looked a little static for me at the end, Jay. Didn't really have the head movement. He's definitely got to keep a moving target, because Petrescu, devastating strikes,
yeah,
knees,
got
kicks.
Some real Harold Howard stuff coming on there. If you're coming on, come on type vibe with that spinning kick. It almost landed. Good job. Chadwick had his hands up, but I think Petrescu will be buoyed a little bit by what he managed to do at the end of that round, and we'll see him come out here throwing heavy lever straight from the bat, I reckon.
Yeah, he knows the range that he wants to avoid, does Valentino Petrescu.
Chadwick can throw heavy lever. You know, we've seen him knock out Cathal Pendred in the past. You know, he's got heavy shots. Maybe it's not the favourite part of his arsenal, but Petrescu doesn't want to get too loose with his striking. And Chadwick drives him on the fence, and he's using this pressure attack that we've seen for the majority of the first round.
Yeah, I think Chadwick, in terms of career, almost changed up his game due to the loss to Zel Gelasic, perhaps. To employ more of a grappling game plan if it's needed. Petrescu definitely falls into that dangerous category of somebody like Zel.
Well, you just have to do what wins fights at the end of the day. If you're a fighter and you want to win fights, do it by any means necessary. That's what Chadwick's doing now, and you know, if he keeps going on at this rate, you know, he will win the fight. So it's the onus is on Petrescu to try and stop it from happening, try and create the distance, and do more than he's doing at the minute, quite frankly.
Yeah, as you say, Jay, Valentino Petrescu's going to have to get busy if he wants to stay in this fight.
I mean, let's not take away the fact that Petrescu is doing a good job of staying on his feet. It's not easy, especially when you've got a guy like Lee Chadwick attached to you. It's not easy to stay on your feet, and he's doing a good job of it. But purely defending a takedown on the fence is not going to be scoring you many points in the eyes of the judges. So while it's skillful and while he's doing a good job, it's not going to win in this fight.
Yeah, like you alluded to many times this show, Jay, in the eyes of the judges, the guy with his back to the fence, unless he's somebody like Paddy Pimblett, is invariably losing the fight. I can't see Petrescu throwing up any flying triangles, and at the moment, Jay, he's not even working the hooks into to try and reverse his position and use the wither. He is literally at this moment in time just avoiding the takedown, and it's losing him the round.
Yeah, he needs to work with a little bit more urgency to get his back off the fence. Leon Roberts does it for them this time. Nice
beautiful leg kick, nice little left hook.
I mean, if he can Those exchanges aren't really long enough for him to do enough damage to really limit what Chadwick can do on the fence. But if when they're broken, he can go to the legs and the body to try and really wear Chadwick out, then that'll come to the fore when they're wrestling on the cage. But one low kick is not going to be enough to do it.
And what is it from Petrescu in this range? Oh, beautiful knee on the inside, looks for the tie clinch. Chadwick uses that to grab a leg and assume this familiar position we're getting used to. I mean, is it a lack of lateral movement from Petrescu when they are in the middle? Jay, I mean, how is Chadwick shutting him down so easily?
Reasonably, I think it's fair to say that if someone wants to grab hold of you and drive you onto the fence, it's easier to do that than it is to stop somebody doing it. And that's purely Chadwick's game plan. You can talk about, moving off and not moving back in straight lines, but it's easy to cut someone off and just keep pressing forward, and that's what Chadwick's doing.
As we were just talking there, Chadwick secures a takedown that could prove very important this round. Petrescu looking active off his back, look for the wrist control then. Chadwick shrugs it off.
I mean, coming back to the earlier point, David, Petrescu is very, very tight in his striking style, which is a lot of kicks and a lot of planting to throw his shots. And it's hard to be constantly moving and avoiding someone who's coming forward to grab you, which is why we've seen Chadwick have no problem at all driving him up to the fence. And now he's in a very good position on top, and he's just grinding out this round.
Referee Leon Roberts taking a close look as Petrescu rolls for an armbar.
Switches off for the armbar. It's just in front of us, Dave. He's got the arm through.
This looks close.
Chadwick
desperately trying to grab his own arm there, Jay.
Yeah, he lost his grip momentarily, but then he got it back again, and now he's pulled the elbow free, and he's out of trouble and back on top.
Did very well to avoid that, did Lee Chadwick, because that did look close for a second, Jay. Fantastic hip movement from Petrescu, shows he's still very active in this fight, still very much alive in this contest.
Yep, no doubt Petrescu is a threat in all ranges, but it's hard to see anything than another round in the books for Lee Chadwick there.
Yeah, Valentino Petrescu could be looking at needing a finish here to take out Lee Chadwick in this middleweight bout at OMMAC 16. And what do you think his corner is saying to him now, Jay? I mean, as you mentioned, he's from that Thai style. He's going to be throwing a lot of kicks. I mean, do you think it's worth just going for hands at the moment? It's, as you say, so difficult to avoid the sort of bull rush of Chadwick.
I think avoiding the bull rush and not scoring with damaging shots is not going to win in the fight. If he's 2 rounds down, that's only a potential 1 round that he can win. I think what he's got to do is go with what he's strong at and really look for the knockout and just go for broke. If he gets put on his back, he'll have to deal with it. But Chadwick is going to... Petrescu, is going to need a finish in this 3rd round if he wants to win this fight. So, for me, he's just got to try and look for a knockout, and he likes to use his legs. So, I don't think you can take one of his biggest assets away from him as much as he won't want to be crushed on the fence.
3rd and final round underway here. Fighters embrace. And Petrescu looks to go to work.
Straight in, looking for that high kick. Chadwick wasn't so quick to react to that one, and he eats the jab.
Yeah. Like that little fake there, Jay. It didn't land, but Chadwick faked the rush and then threw a left hand of his own. Good to see him mixing it up.
Yeah, and it served the purpose of closing that distance and dragging Petrescu to the fence yet again. This time Petrescu's managed to switch the position to get his back off the fence. But again, he's reversed by Chadwick. A little bit more urgency needed from Petrescu. He doesn't want to be stuck in this position for the whole round again.
Yeah, he's staring in the face of defeat from this position, Jay. It's been a struggle for him throughout this middleweight contest here at OMMAC.
He's controlling that wrist, and he's done a good job of breaking free, but only for a second until Chadwick really pushes forward and puts Petrescu's back on the fence again. Again, we've seen it a lot tonight. You know, guys working the game plan, negating the striking of their opponent. And Chadwick's doing exactly that. He's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, experienced campaigners like Lee Chadwick are capable of sticking to game plans. And let's face it, who blames him? Petrescu is an extremely dangerous striker, and why play to your opponent's strengths? Petrescu reverses the position and now has Chadwick up against the fence, looking for the tie clinch.
Some good knees coming in there. And another good knee to the body. But Petrescu's going to need more than that. And they're battling in the clinch again. Petrescu looks for an arm drag, almost got out, but just couldn't quite get there. Chadwick looking for that single leg, but Petrescu grabs the fence. A little bit of a naughty manoeuvre.
Yeah, a warning from Leon Roberts, and I mean at this stage, Jay, that could have almost been curtains for him in the fight if that takedown had been secured.
Yeah, and no doubt that kept him on his feet. And now Petrescu looking for a couple of elbows, manages to get himself free, and now he's driving Chadwick to the fence.
Surely he's got to look to separate here, Jay.
He needs to. There he goes with a flurry. He doesn't want to resign himself to being on the fence again. He needs to make that distance. But Chadwick, so strong. Just drives Petrescu to the fence, and time is ticking by. And while ever that clock goes down, that works in favour for Lee Chadwick. That's what Valentino Petrescu needs to do. This is where he needs to make an impact now, out in the open. Spinning hook kick attempt, and he's taken straight down. He's done a good job of working up to his knees. If he can get to the cage, stick his back on the fence, yep, just like that, he can work back up. Good work from Petrescu. It's good to see him just, you know, going balls to the wall and trying to finish with whatever he's got. Chadwick looking to just keep that pressure on, keep riding out the time now. There's not long left in this round.
Beautiful shots on the inside there from Petrescu, but he just can't stop the onrushing Chadwick. Chadwick looking a little tired, Jay.
A spinning back elbow attempt from Petrescu, but every time he closes that distance, it's time ticking away, and he gets another takedown now, and it's hard to see there being enough time for Petrescu to get back to his feet and then land a fight-ending strike. Chadwick is going to be happy to stay on top. I'm not quite sure how long's left, but it can't be too long.
Certainly, Lee Chadwick looks to be on the way to one of the biggest wins in his career, Jay. I think we'd have to say Petrescu always been around the top of the rankings in other divisions. Spent some time on the Ultimate Fighter, was heavily fancied going into this bout. This would be a fantastic win.
Petrescu looking for a final throw of the dice with a Kimura attempt, but there's only 10 seconds, and I just don't think he's going to have the time to get that on Lee Chadwick. As the time ticks away, Chadwick just puts some shots into the body, and there's the end of the fight. Can't really be anything other than a Lee Chadwick decision win for me, Dave.
No, looks as though Lee Chadwick is probably on his way to unanimous decision. And I just mentioned it, Jay. That's got to be one of the biggest wins of his career. Fantastic performance from Chadwick.
Three incredibly hard fought 5-minute rounds. The judges have collated their scores, and we have reached a split decision. Judge Stephen Millwood scores the fight 30-28 in favour of the blue corner. Danny Rushton scores the contest 28-29 in favour of the red corner. And Darren Sherlock scores the fight 29-28 in favour of your winner. In the blue corner from Atherton Submission Wrestling, Lee Chadwick. And a huge show of appreciation, please, to a fantastic opponent, Valentino Petrescu.